New dangers in a Southern California jailbreak.
Shooting in San Diego. Hi, I'm John Krieger.
And I'm Dane Wormlinger, and this is your Public Eye News. Last night, plans for the proposed Clark-Lambros Beach Park in Marquette were changed by the Marquette City Commission in a 5-to-1 vote. Last summer, Michelle Butler of Vango's Pizza wanted to donate more than 1,000 feet of property to the city for the park to her late partner. The property stretched from Holly Street to the Dead River Bridge. The new plan reduces the size of the structure that will be at the site, which will also save money on the construction that will go towards another parking lot. And an investigation is underway in Marquette after an unarmed robbery occurred at the Christ gas station in Lincoln Avenue last night. Police reported it happened last night around 9:10 p.m. The suspect was in the store trying to make a purchase, and while the cash drawer was open, reached over the counter and took an unknown amount of money. The suspect is being described as 6 feet tall, around 180 pounds, with a blonde buzz cut. He's believed to be in his 20s and was last seen wearing gray sweatpants and a dark top. If you have any information, please contact the Marquette Police Department at 906-228-0400.
The Verso Corporation announced today that the company has filed voluntary petitions with the United States Bankruptcy Court to reorganize under Chapter 11 of the U.S. Bankruptcy Code. The company's board of directors authorized the filings and hopes to eliminate a $2.4 billion outstanding debt. Verso believes that this announcement should have no impact on average day-to-day operations and should exit the Chapter 11 process in a short time. President and CEO David Patterson commented, quote, "Verso chose to take this proactive step with the firm belief that our company will emerge from the Chapter 11 process as a stronger company that is positioned to compete and win," end quote. The Chippewa County Sheriff's Office responded to a snowmobile accident around 9 a.m. Friday morning near Paradise. Authorities state that the driver of the snowmobile, 43-year-old Eric Parrish of Lincoln, failed to negotiate a corner and ran into tree stumps. Parrish died as a result of his injuries at the scene. A second accident happened before 3:30 p.m. near Paradise on Saturday. The driver once again failed to negotiate a corner and ran into a group of trees. The driver's name hasn't been disclosed, though his injuries are considered to be severe. He is currently receiving treatment at the Newberry Helen Joy Hospital.
The Mackinac Bridge was temporarily closed today due to falling ice from the cables. Northbound and southbound traffic on I-75 at the bridge was closed due to the falling ice. On Saturday, the bridge also closed for hours to allow the ice to fall after building up on the cables a few weeks ago. In the past 20 years, the bridge has only closed less than 10 times due to the falling ice. And as Flint continues to deal with the water crisis, Walmart and several other global beverage makers have agreed to deliver around 175 truckloads of bottled water to the city. Walmart, along with Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, and Nestle, announced today the donation will include up to 6.5 million bottles of water through December for over 10,000 children in school. Walmart stated that since July, they've donated 14 truckloads of water and almost 1,800 water filters. Flint switched from Detroit's water system while being in an emergency state management and began drawing from the Flint River in 2014 to save money. The water was not properly treated and it became contaminated with lead. Residents have since then been urged to use bottled water and to put filters on their faucets. And after the break, we'll be back with your national and international news. Stay tuned.
They may not look like much, but these are nature's natural-born hustlers. They're masters of deception and seductive sneaks. To survive, animals must raise a family. But mating can be a minefield, so these clever cons will cheat the system to get ahead in the game of life.
Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern.
A shooter was reported at the Naval Medical Center in San Diego this morning. 3 gunshots were said to have been fired in the basement of the center's Building 26 around 8 a.m. The incident is being treated as if it's an active shooter situation. The center, on its Facebook page, relayed the report and said that, quote, "All occupants are advised to run, hide, or fight," end quote. The post also stated, quote, "All non-emergency response personnel are asked to stay away from the compound," end quote. The time for polls and mudslinging is almost over as the caucuses and primaries kick off in Iowa next Monday. Edward Lawrence is in Washington, D.C. with what the candidates are going to do over the last-minute supporters.
With just 6 days to go until the first votes are cast in Iowa, presidential candidates can see the finish line.
We're in the final sprint.
You know, this is now crunch time, right?
The latest poll out this morning shows Donald Trump has now regained a lead in Iowa. But Ted Cruz is within the margin of error, so Trump isn't pulling any punches, including his favorite jab, pointing out Cruz's birthplace.
The Canadian, the man from Canada. He could run right now for Prime Minister of Canada. He'd have no problem.
Cruz is hitting back with a series of TV ads, including this one, aimed at Iowa's evangelical voters.
I am pro-choice in every respect.
And Cruz says there's a reason the establishment is lining up behind the businessman.
Trump will cut a deal. Trump will expand government spending, expand the debt, continue the cronyism.
The Democratic side is just as tight, with Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton in a dead heat. But Sanders has been gaining on Clinton in Iowa.
I think we are touching a nerve with the American people who understand that establishment politics is just not good enough.
Clinton tried to reassure one young voter that Republican attacks against her are because she's the real change candidate.
I've been on the front lines of change and progress since I was your age.
Clinton trails Sanders for young voters, but historically, that's a group that doesn't show up to caucus. Edward Lawrence for CBS News, Washington.
Officials across the region are still dealing with the giant storm that hit the East Coast. But the newest problem, where they should put all of the snow. In Washington, truckloads of snow were brought to the RFK Stadium parking lot, where officials plan to melt 60 tons of snow an hour. Authorities there and in New York, where a travel ban was placed and lifted on Sunday, asked people to stay off the roads if possible and to give road crews space to clear side streets and other locations packed with snow. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio issued a travel advisory warning that black ice could cause slick driving conditions. Virginia State Police sent out a similar message, noting they've responded to more than 1,500 traffic crashes since Friday. And there is a dramatic new warning about the danger posed by one of the escapees in a Southern California jailbreak. An Orange County prosecutor is quoted as saying, quote, "They let Hannibal Lecter out," end quote. Mariah Villarreal is at the Orange County Central Jail with new changes as the manhunt intensifies.
We know somebody out there knows something.
The Orange County Sheriff's Department repeatedly asked the public for help Monday and sent a message to the Vietnamese community.
It is extremely important for them to reach out to us, let us know where they're at, because they're extremely armed and dangerous.
20-year-old Jonathan Tu, who is facing murder charges, is linked to a Vietnamese gang. Bac Duong is also thought to have gang ties. The 43-year-old was being held on attempted murder charges. 37-year-old Hussein Nairi is accused of kidnapping and torture. In 2012, Nairi, along with an accomplice, allegedly tortured a man with fire.
I'm scared.
People who live in the community near the jail are frightened.
These people are that bad? How did they get out of jail?
He is incredibly violent.
Orange County prosecutor Heather Brown says Nairi's trial is set for next month.
The acts that he committed are nothing short of diabolical.
Authorities believe the men escaped from the Central Men's Jail Friday morning. The escapees cut their way through a steel screen and entered the building's plumbing tunnels. Law enforcement says the group rappelled off the roof down nearly 5 floors using a makeshift rope made of linens.
Investigators are trying to figure out how they got a hold of the tools they used in their escape and if someone was helping them. Right now, the Sheriff's Department does confirm no one from their office is on leave or suspended with pay. Mireya Villarreal, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Suspected Boko Haram insurgents have blown themselves up in a market in Cameroon, killing at least 25 people and injuring 62 others. Albert Obanu, a local official, told CNN, quote, "They were in 3 explosions. 2 went off in the Bodo market and a 3rd exploded on a bridge near the military camp," end quote. This is not the first time Bodo has been targeted for attacks. Near the end of December, local residents prevented suicide bombers from accessing the same market. And on January 13th, a suicide bomber killed 12 people in an attack on a mosque in northern Cameroon. On Saturday, Cameroon forces killed 10 attackers on the Nigerian border. 4 assault rifles, munitions, and explosives were confiscated.
On Nova.
Major earthquake!
Thousands killed in Nepal.
The whole village is wiped out.
Gone. Triggering a deadly avalanche on Mount Everest. Now, scientists race to collect clues.
We've never seen anything like it.
Is the worst still to come?
It hasn't relieved all the pressure.
Can they predict the next killer quake?
One could occur in the next 10 years or the next 10 minutes.
Here comes more.
Himalayan megaquake on Nova.
Wednesday evening at 9.
Hi, I'm Dan Callahan, and this is your weather. Currently behind me, it is snowing in the Academic Mall, and it doesn't get any better from here. Currently it is snowing with a temperature of 26 degrees, winds north 14 miles per hour with a barometric pressure of 29.9 inches and rising. Tonight, we have snowing low of 17 degrees with winds west-northwest 11 miles per hour. And tomorrow, we have snowing high of 28 degrees with winds southwest 19 miles per hour. Now around the UP. In Sault Ste. Marie, it is 30 degrees and cloudy, as well as Manistee, Escanaba, and Menominee have the same conditions. In Iron Mountain, it is 27 degrees and cloudy. Ironwood, 23 degrees and cloudy. Up in Houghton, 26 degrees and cloudy. And back here in Marquette, 26 degrees and snowing. Looking ahead. On Thursday, it'll be a high of 27 degrees with a low of 13 degrees and snow. Friday, high of 23 degrees, low of 19 degrees and snow. Saturday, a high of 37 degrees, low of 31 with rain and snow. Well, the UP's looking pretty gloom. How about sports?
Well, the Golden State Warriors seem to be lighting it up on the courts.
Good to hear.
Stephen Curry and the dominant Golden State Warriors aren't just simply beating teams anymore, they're delivering knockouts to the NBA's best teams. In a span of a little over a week, Golden State has 30-point wins over Cleveland, Chicago, and San Antonio. Curry scored 37 points and hit 6 3-pointers last night in their blunder over the Spurs, showing they still own the West with a 120-90 win. Curry said in an interview that no moment is too big, as yesterday was just another regular season game, but he acknowledged the win as a step forward to a championship repeat. U.S. Olympic athletes have sent a letter to leaders of the International Olympic Committee and World Anti-Doping Agency, urging them to expand the investigation into Russian doping to sports beyond track and field. The letter came in response to the two-part report detailing doping inside Russia's track team, the sport's international governing body, and allegations that the government participated in the fraud. The letter said that while other sports federations might do their own inquiries, WADA and the IOC should take lead to make sure all Russian sports are investigated. And when Peyton Manning hugged New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick after the Broncos' 20-18 victory on Sunday, the quarterback acknowledged to the coach that Sunday's AFC Championship game might be the last time they match up. Manning was heard after the game saying to Belichick that it may have been his last rodeo with the Patriots and that it has been a pleasure over the years. Sunday's game was the 20th time that Manning faced Belichick and the Patriots and the 8th time he has won a game against the coach. Manning's record versus Belichick sits at 3-2. Manning is under contract in 2016 with a higher salary cap figure than last year and has said he will not make a decision until after the season concludes if he indeed will return or retire. Well, with all the talk about football, I haven't heard much about the Cheeseheads. What's going on over there?
Yeah, you know, they're playing Lost and Found with a pretty big cheese. As Chester Cheetah once said, quote, "It ain't easy being cheesy," end quote. That comment holds true as police have recovered about $70,000 worth of cheese stolen from a Milwaukee trunking company. A 50-foot-long trailer holding the cheese was stolen early Friday from D&G Transportation, northwest of Milwaukee. The semi-trailer used to steal the trailer was recovered, and it is unknown exactly where the cheese was found.
Well, that is some big news on cheese.
Oh yeah, cheese is just having a great day. And that's all the time we have today for Public Eye News. Tune in next time.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.